Welcome. My name is Alita St. James, and I'm excited to share with you this workshop, Shifting the Fatigue of the Pandemic into 2020 and all the wonderful things that we can create. It's been very difficult since March when the pandemic really hit, and many of us have been going through so many changes, reinventing ourselves, expanding, getting to the essence of our spiritual core rather than the things that we want to do, the materialistic things that we want to get. It has forced us to really go internal and look at our values and our purpose. And I've done many talks and workshops on getting deeper within inside of ourselves and expanding from the essence in our core. And that's what I want to talk about today, is that many of you have become even more expansive and more spiritual in 2020 than before. And even though you expanded and you feel like, wow, I would have never reached this mountain had I not been in the valley. But the thing is that it gets tiring to keep on keeping on and to keep that incentive and that inspiration going to create even greater levels of abundance and creativity and manifestation in 2021. So I'm here today to have you look back at 2020 and say, all right, let's make an inventory. What have I actually accomplished? And we'll do a meditation on this from the beginning of 2020, when everything was blossoming and possible, to when things hit in March, all the way up to now. It's almost Christmas and New Year's of 2021. And many of you are going to find, because I've done this with my clients over the last 2 weeks, that you have progressed extraordinarily. And it's not, it's part of our human nature not to give ourselves accolades for that, because there always seems to be another mountain we need to climb or something, more challenging we need to overcome. But in this assessment, I want you to really be honest with yourself and say, hey, you know what? Wow, I accomplished this. I kept on going. I became tremendously creative. I reinvented myself. I picked myself up out of a depression and created unlimited possibilities and positive thinking about my future and what I am becoming as a human, that spiritual being having a human experience. This pandemic, this epidemic is part of our human experience. So we can either grow through it or we can be taken down from it. And of course, I'm challenging all of you that are listening. We're growing through this. And not only are we going to get some incentive and inspiration to keep on keeping on, get over that fatigue, put yourself into high gear, and then start to dream about 2021. Yes, take a deep breath in right now, and let's all center. Take 2 deep breaths in through your nose, and out through your mouth. And in through your nose, and out through your mouth. And then what I'd like you to do is imagine a violet sun. That's the color that's coming in for this workshop right now, violet. That's the highest manifesting color, 6 inches above your head. Just imagine the color violet, or think of something that reminds you of violet, and you'll actually start to see it or feel it. And then as you're breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth, you're feeling that the rays of this violet orb of light is coming in through your crown chakra and moving throughout your entire body. Breathing in and out, and in and out. Breathing in and out, and in and out. And then what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to center into the heart center. Get that violet orb of light just circulating right in the heart center. And connect to the I am consciousness inside of you, which connects your highest spiritual self with its physical creation, you. So breathing in, the I am, and breathing out any stress or tension or monkey mind. Focus. Feel the presence. Breathing in, connect to the I am consciousness in your heart center, and feel the power of your higher spiritual self connecting with you, its physical creation. Then you can keep your eyes open or you can close them. And just do a retrospective and an inventory of 2020. And just ask yourself, what have I accomplished? Breathing in and out. Release any kind of comparison with someone else. Just think about your own personal journey. Many of you are very visual. You might see it as a film. From the beginning all the way up to right now. The beginning of the year to now. My journey brought me to this, which then brought me to that, which then brought me to the next level. I realized through the hardship what was really important to me in my life. I realized the friendships that were beneficial. I realized what I needed to let go of and what I needed to receive more of. I realized how critical I could be with myself and how I needed to let that go. I realized unconditional love for myself and for my loved ones, and even for the people that hurt me, so I could release them and let them go. More importantly, how many of you actually connected to your purpose so that you could keep on keeping on because you knew you had something that you needed to achieve in this reincarnation that was much higher than just surviving? How did you become a creator in 2020? By using your higher spiritual energy to manifest when it was really difficult, when it felt like the bottom was dropping out, when you were challenged beyond belief in terms of a sense of self-esteem for yourself, where you would let nobody take away your value based on how they were treating you. How many of you let go of toxic relationships, the chat room of discontent, and allowed yourself to have relationships that were only nurturing and loving and deserving of who you are and who you are becoming? How many of you realized the law of magnetic attraction and vibration, that you hold the vibration of who you are becoming, and that vibration will attract similar vibrations and create expansion and abundance in your life? How many of you through this journey realized what true happiness was? And how many of you at times just felt like the bottom dropped out and the depression hit and the anxiety hit and the fear of the future hit. But you did your meditations, you did your inner work, you connected with me in terms of private sessions, meditations, other people that are doing this internal spiritual work, and lifted yourself up. That deserves accolades. That deserves applause. It's not so much when you go down into the valley, but where you are at the present. And in order to be at the top of the mountain, sometimes you have to be down in the valley. It's important to forgive yourself for not constantly being happy and cheerful and being a manifester and creating. That's usually unrealistic. There are times where it seems like the dark night of the soul. But that dark night of the soul takes you to the light, because then you really have to connect to the essence of who you are and why you're here and what's your purpose. If you can look at 2020 and go, wow, this is what I got from 2020. It was difficult, and it's still creating more challenges, especially with the pandemic surging right now and things starting to close down again. But I will not be the victim. I will keep on keeping on. When things get tough, the tough get going. And it's tough in terms of using spiritual energy. So they say in metaphysics, judge not by appearances. When things hit, and it feels like there's a stop, how many times this year did you breathe and release it and go to a higher level of consciousness to create what you wanted, not what you didn't? Give yourself accolades for that. Celebrate that. That is not easy. The best times that we change is when we have the most challenges. We are in the middle of the vortex of challenge. It is so important now that not only do we develop our tools of spiritual energy and become the creators and manifestors, but also that we keep tuning up and practicing every single day, because we are being challenged. And the challenge not only rests within inside ourselves in our own personal journey, it's what's going on in politics around us and in the collective consciousness, where there's a tremendous amount of fear, there's a tremendous amount of confusion. And you need to stand strong in your own light and what you know is your truth in terms of what your purpose is and how you feel and how you are an example of a spiritual being out in the world, not only interested in yourself and your family and your friends, but in the collective, in the process of evolution, and holding the light so that in 2020, we take everything to a certain level and then we expand it in 2021. So I want you to just take a moment now, and I'm going to use the chimes. All those questions that I asked you, just breathe and see the whole map of 2020 for you, or feel it. And if you get one or two answers, that's fine, but you might get a whole collage of things. I have clients that have taken through this process and they were astounded by all the things that they created, all the breakthroughs they had, the negative energy of self-condemnation that they had to let go of, because that was stopping them in a really difficult time to growing and expanding and creating themselves in a new way and becoming who they were meant to become. The negativity just couldn't hold anymore. challenged to be positive, challenged to hit that unconditional love and acceptance of ourselves, that appreciation and gratitude that expands us in 2020 and going into 2021. So close your eyes or open your eyes, or if there's paper and you want to start writing, like in your journal, your journey for the next few minutes. And you can do this after the workshop, because this is a process. And this is something that I'm going to lead you into the Intentions program for 2021, the next level of your creativity. But first, we want to close 2020. We want to get the essence of the nutrition and the nutrients that we got from the challenge of becoming greater than we were before because of the challenges, and then moving on to the next level. So this is a closing as well as an opening. Okay, feel that violet light, that I am. Get connected to who you are. We don't get a chance to do that very often. And just listen to the chimes and let that lead you with all the questions that I asked you to realizations and revelations inside of yourself in terms of your journey, your purpose, and your magnificence. Breathing right into that heart center, the violet light of the I am, with that knowledge and that feeling of that journey that you've been on through this pandemic in 2020. Blessing the good with the bad, or what we conceive as the bad. But it's not good or bad till God gets through with it. Because sometimes when things are crushing down on us, that's the best thing that could have happened to us. That's the seat of awakening. It's not through everything being fabulous and wonderful that we evolve. It's when we're in the crisis and we move from chaos into clarity. Chaos can equal clarity if you know how to navigate with spiritual energy. And that's what I teach, and that's what I'm transferring to you. So I'm sure you've been surprised at some of the things that have come up for you. And the process will still go on. And with appreciation and gratitude for everything that you went through in 2020, I want you now to start preparing yourself, because usually about December 13th, I start my preparation for the New Year's Intentions program, where I have my clients start to visualize and write their intentions for the following year. Now, it was amazing that even with the pandemic, I had so many people, over 100, that were doing the Intentions program last year, and people were astounded at how many of their intentions actually manifested. I was astounded myself, but it's true. Because the power of your intention and the spiritual energy that channels through me, that I can transfer to you in your consciousness and help elevate your consciousness to the field of love, the field of unlimited potential, the quantum field. That's where miracles happen. And the more you train yourself to do that, the more you're not so afraid of what's coming at you, because you know you can stand strong in faith and trust and hold the vision of what you want to create. Have the patience and the fortitude and the perseverance and the belief that you will. I am, I can, I will, I believe. Manifest. And then you create the vision as if it's already happened. So moving now into 2021, without any limitation, I want you to start to move into what's the next level I want to create for myself. Even with the surge, even with the pandemic, in spite of, because I am lifting above into the quantum field where there is no limitation. And if you ask yourself, 2021, what is my purpose? What is my next level? What is the next level of becoming that I want to manifest? And then just think about 8 things and start to write them down. And I always start my intentions program with I am, as if it's already happened. It's amazing. When you put that down with that I am consciousness, as if it's already happened, and you move into the quantum field, into your spiritual, higher spiritual self, where there's no limitation, and you don't block with doubt and disbelief and fear, it's a pure channel of creator manifestation. And that comes from an inner feeling of happiness, joy, appreciation, and gratitude, not only for yourself, your life, the miracle of your life, your friends, what you can create, your children, your family, and even the obstacles or the people that come against you. Because you can find a lot of spiritual evolution in overcoming those obstacles, in loving yourself, especially when you feel rejected in a relationship, and realizing it has nothing to do with you. It can come from some very distorted energy within inside the other person that they can't allow themselves to receive love. Love brings up its opposite. So that's why you have to continuously keep working and moving past fear. In the Course of Miracles, they say there's 2 emotions, fear and love. So you want to transform fear into power, into love. And that doesn't mean that you're a doormat. That means that you have self-appreciation, that you're your own advocate, that you're willing to have belief systems that you can get behind, that you're willing to help other people, lift them up if you're stronger than they are, if you're financially able to help them, especially in this time. It's really about becoming one with others. It's the next level of evolution. And that I am consciousness of your highest spiritual self with your physical being is really about the oneness. And believe it or not, with all this chaos going on, that's the evolution, that's the clarity that's coming from the negativity. So think about that. What are the 8 things that you want to manifest in 2021? to keep on keeping on, to keep your life fresh, to keep moving. This pandemic will be over. We are just going through some fatigue right now, even in the holidays. And I'm here to say, let's move it. Breathe into it. On the other side of the fatigue, there is tremendous creative energy. On the other side of the exhaustion that many of us are feeling from time to time, not maybe all the time, but it hits. Breathe through it. Hold it for the count of 5 and then exhale. Let it go. Because then you're letting go of the past and you're moving into the present, which is creating the magnificence of the future of 2021 for you. This is an extraordinary time that we will look back over it and go, oh my God, amazing, if you're growing through it. There's certain people that have remained depressed. They've started taking drugs, much more than they had before, drinking, gaining weight. It doesn't have to be that way. If you know anybody that's a friend of yours that's in that position, turn them onto the light. Turn them on to growing through these situations and creating something better, as well as for yourself. And the best way you can do that is through your own example. Through your own example, that's when people go, what are you doing? But you can tell somebody about a diet, nothing's ever going to happen, right? Until they see you losing weight and they go, what are you doing? Oh, well, I'm doing blah. Oh, okay, can I have that? So it's through example. And feel like you're the light that turns other lights on. And get excited about your life so people can get excited about theirs. That's kind of what we're talking about in 2021. That's what's being channeled through. And it's very important through very difficult times to seek the source, the presence of something higher than our physical third dimensional self. And to work through the emotional body and the physical body that holds on to the fears and the blocks and move into the higher spiritual self. Transform that into creative manifesting energy. You can stay stuck or you can transform it and soar. It's your choice. There are tools out there, including the work that I'm certainly distributing and working with so many people and sharing in terms of what works for me, that I was able to bring children into the world at 57. That was a big miracle. I'm 73 and I keep regenerating myself, and all the miracles that have happened with my clients over the years that just keep me fired up. So I want to keep on keeping on and keep on inspiring and keep on seeing people manifest their dreams. I wrote a book right after I gave birth called Life Shift, Let Go and Live Your Dream. I believe in empowering everyone's dream. And I want you to connect to your dream for 2021. That's so important. And for you to realize that you just keep on getting better. You just keep on becoming. What life can turn on a dime. What is not happening one minute can happen the next. If you feel like you're lonely and you haven't met someone, I have 5 people in my practice, 5 women that have met their match, that have met their vibrational person in the pandemic. And they're carrying on wonderful relationships that they didn't before. So there's nothing that says not when you know how to use spiritual energy and shift. So really write those intentions in terms of what you want for 2021. And for those of you who want to be in my intention program or on my intention program, I'm going to talk more about that in my next session, about what that requires. Well, I'll let you in on that right now. There's 8 intentions that you write with I Am Consciousness. On New Year's Eve night, we do a silent meditation where I bring in the beings of light, guides and guardian angels into the vortex. I hold everyone's intention in my hands that they've written, and I'm meditating on their intentions. It's an amazing experience, and everybody feels the power. Even if you're at a party, all of a sudden things will stop and you'll tune into the vortex. And then the next day, on New Year's Day, I take everything that I've experienced in the vortex from everybody's intentions, and I do a meditation that connects everybody together with affirmations. And then that gets distributed. And then what I do is I actually record in the next 5 to 6 days everyone's intentions with my own voice, so that the power of my healing energy my clients are listening to on a daily basis, as long as they want to, with me leading their intentions. It's very, very powerful. So it takes me about a week between New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and then recording everyone's intentions. But the collective consciousness of like-minded beings in the vortex is extraordinary. And with the spiritual energy that I'm channeling, it amps it up 1,000,000 times, so that we take all those intentions that I've recorded and we put them under the Buddha in my healing energy vortex of my healing studio for a whole year. And so every single day they're constantly being re-energized with spiritual energy, because I'm always in my studio, except when I'm with my children, doing healing work. And when I'm not in my studio doing healing work, there's crystals and energies and beings of light that are just amping up all your intentions. So the support is amazing. And that's what keeps me going from year to year to year, when I see all the successes and people like being astounded at everything that they've created. And sometimes they have to actually read their intentions to realize, oh my God, that all came true. And that makes me so happy, including my life and the miracles that happen in my life as well. So stay tuned for how you can actually join my very exclusive, because it is, New Year's Intentions program, and take it from what we were doing today to moving into the higher levels of what you want to create in 2021. And let's rock it. Let's really soar together and give each other that zhuzh, and bring in the guides and guardian angels and beings of light to help us, because when everyone gathers to help mankind, that's when they'll come in. Not for anybody's personal gain, but for your expansion, your evolution, and the evolution and acceleration of humankind. You're in that soul grouping. And when you claim that magnificent energy of being a creator and a manifester, miracles start to happen on a daily basis. And sometimes you find that your intentions have happened 6 months in, and you're on to a whole new group. And I say bravo or brava, because that's what it's all about. So my love and blessings to you on your journey, and stay tuned for how you can join the New Year's Eve Intentions program. That's a very exclusive, high-level program. Many are called, few are chosen, but I'm willing to be there for you and help you manifest your dreams, desires, and destiny fulfilled. See you soon. My love and blessings to you, Alita St. James, on your journey. Amen.